What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 128.
Let's
Woo-hoo.
go.
We are bringing you that Monday energy.
We are bringing you that Monday post-event energy.
Yes. We're both at the same event, working, attending, and
We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah,
we
we'll do
can
that
talk
later.
about that a little later and towards
Yes.
the end of the show. I think
We
we can do a
shall.
little baby segment on that event.
And but we are bringing ourselves to you all live. If you're watching live, join us over in the live chat. And if you're watching later, awesome, comment down below. We're going to cover some anime news and announcements, as well as make sure you have your notifications for episodes here on the Fanversation
Was that
channel.
the notification for the episode going live? Amazing.
Yes.
Chef kiss, I swear. Amazing.
And yes, we'll be covering as well as the finale of Go Go Loser Ranger and more. So stick around for all that. This nice little part here tells you what we're covering. But let's get to some introductions. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yeah. So also, if you're following here on the Fanversation channel, you might get that kind of a fun notification to let you know when there's new videos dropping. And we also have a Twitter over at NTATNB. And we'll be posting photos and links of different stuff that we cover and just other announcements and retweets. And I'm looking over in the live chat. It is kind of music. John Knight.
Yes.
So hello, ladies. I finished watching Demon Slayer Season 4 dub, and it was an amazing season. The animation was amazing. The characters were amazing. The music was great.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's my notification noise, and everybody always gets a kick out of it. But it sounds like a laser beam, like pew pew.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, let's get into things we're excited about.
Yay.
Our first bit is things that we're excited about is anime in movie theaters, which we're always excited about. Seeing it on the big screen.
With other fans, with other enthusiasts, occasionally with people who are seeing something for the first time, which if the movies we're about to list off are something that you haven't seen yet and would be seeing for the first time in theaters, man, let's go.
Yes. So first announcement is from a combination of a few awesome entities, HIDIVE, AX Cinema Nights, and Iconic Events. They're doing a special 30th anniversary of Ninja Scroll, a screening that will be in theaters September 11th, 12th, and 15th. So you can get your tickets now. Check your local listings at your theater, and you can find more information at iconicreleasing.com/events/Ninja Scroll/tickets. But I bet if you look up Iconic Events and Ninja Scroll, you will find it. So yes, 3-day run. It will be Wednesday, September 11th in Japanese with English subtitles, Thursday, English dub, and Sunday we'll have an encore in both sub and dub. So that's super exciting. And ooh, this is cool. The other bit will be moviegoers will be treated to a pre-show special featuring a new never-before-seen interview with the director, and it was produced especially for the 30th anniversary.
Nice. Very nice.
And then this was originally announced at Anime Expo 2024, and it is
part of a series of releases, correct?
Mm-hmm. So that's the main info. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, tickets available from participating theater box offices. And then just make sure you're following HIDIVE and AX Cinema Nights is part of the Anime Expo, I think, tag. So follow that and check out Ninja Scroll in theaters.
I believe we have, I'm finding the press release for the full list because we do have Ninja Scroll coming up. Yes. They are also releasing Metropolis 2001 in November. They are doing Baby Metal Legend 43, the movie, in December. Paprika 4K 15th
Oh,
anniversary in January, and Cowboy Bebop the movie in February. So Ninja Scroll is the first one that's coming up. We have tickets on sale for that already, but also keep an eye out for the rest of those screenings. Mark your calendars, keep an eye out for tickets becoming available because y'all, those are some amazing movies.
oh
That
yeah.
Paprika has been on my watch list for a while, and I think I might just put a pin in it until it comes to theaters and see it for the first time in theaters. 2/3 of the way back because I feel like watching Paprika from the front row is a little like watching Inception from the front row. Just like, hello!
Yes. Well, I did do that with Belle unintentionally because I was covering the event. And the only problem with doing that was if you're in the front row when you're watching subtitles, you are doing this. Like trying to read everything, and you really can't look at it and see the whole thing being in the front row. So it was kind of entertaining, but when it was just pure visuals, you're like, oh, I'm in the movie. So that was
So it balances out.
I feel Paprika. Yeah, you want to be a little back so you can take it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that'd be a fun experience.
No,
For
best
sure.
movie going experience for me is always center. Like, I am that
Always.
human.
That's my favorite. I've done it
Yeah.
where let us know your favorite spot to sit in at the
Yeah.
theater. I'm definitely center back and like middle from front to back. And then I've done it where I'll be like, I just start, if you don't have your tickets picked ahead of time and just walk, and then where I want to sit is often center. I'm like, oh, haven't lost my touch. I know exactly where it is.
Oh, yeah. No, center is, in my opinion, at least, the way to go. I know there are
Mhm,
people who prefer the way back, and I know there are people who
mhm,
prefer the front row. And
mhm.
to those of you who prefer the front row, more power to you. It's definitely easier for you to find tickets right before a screening.
Yes,
Because,
and then
man,
I
very
understand
powerful.
convenience too.
Oh, that's,
So,
yeah, yeah. But center if you can.
yes.
Anyway, probably should have put that under
More news.
Tangent Corner. But while we are talking about anime in theaters and things we're excited about, Crunchyroll announces tickets on sale for cinematic supernatural masterpiece Kizumonogatari Koyomi Vamp. Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures Entertainment bring the highly anticipated blood-sucking film into theaters for a special one-day limited run August 28th. So, y'all, that is, if I'm doing my math correctly, that's next week? End of next week sometime?
Very soon. Yeah, I'm like,
Middle, end
wait,
of next week? Yeah,
28?
the 28th.
Yes, next Wednesday.
Middle of next week. All
Yes.
right. So, Crunchyroll, the ultimate home for anime worldwide, announced today that tickets for the newly adapted directorial masterpiece Kizumonogatari Kiyomi Vamp, comprised of the 3 Kizumonogatari trilogy films, are now on sale for audiences in the United States and Canada. So that is one day only, August 28th. Kizumonogatari centers around a high school student named Kiyomi Araragi, who survives an encounter with a gorgeous yet helpless vampire. That is such a long name. Kishat Asarola Orion, Heart Under Blade. Wow. Wow. Game of Thrones names got nothing on this one. So if you are here for a vampire flick, for a bloody vampire flick, August 28th, mark your calendars, get your tickets. Again, anime in theaters. Thank you, Crunchyroll.
Woo! And continuing on in anime in theaters, this is with G Kids and Fathom Events. There we go. Studio Ghibli is continuing their 2024 fest with Whisper of the Heart and The Cat Returns. So, coming of age classics are returning to the big screen nationwide, each film for 2 nights only. And looking at I was like, where are my dates here?
Dates, yeah.
There it is. Scrolling down.
All right.
Whisper of the Heart show dates will be Sunday, August 25th and Tuesday, August 27th. Cat Returns their dates are going to be Monday, August 26th and Wednesday, August 28th. And for
So
both
next
of them,
week.
yes, next week is a busy week for theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Just
Both of them.
3 anime movies in theaters back to back to back.
Yes. Both have the English and Japanese options available on the different days, so check those out. A couple of them have 2 showings. On the weekend, it looks like the Sunday has 2 screenings, and then the weekdays are single. For tickets, you can check them out at ghiblifest.com and fathomevents.com. Also, just check your local box office and be sure to be following G Kids for more information on the rest of the fest and other cool announcements.
Yes. That's
Yes.
It's always so much fun. Again, even if you've seen it 100 times, seeing it in theaters with other fans is just it's so good. It's so good.
Bring your friends who haven't seen it yet. That's the
Oh,
fun one, too.
absolutely.
It's like you get it all over again.
You get to watch the movie and you get to watch their reactions,
You're like,
which is also extremely fun.
Yeah.
We have been talking a lot about anime in theaters. Now let's talk about anime at home. We have home releases from Crunchyroll, starting with Attack on Titan final season, the final chapters, rumble onto Blu-ray November 26th. And I know Attack on Titan is like the biggest draw for people. Crunchyroll is also releasing Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super complete
Ooh.
series Blu-ray box sets. That's the
nice.
attraction for me right there. Complete series of DBZ and DB Super. Like, those are hard to come by. So Crunchyroll's doing us a solid. Let me see what dates we have here. Of course, as always, the boxes include some beautiful, beautiful extras. Attack on Titan has a 148-page art book detailing the final season. The last 32-page digibook, 7 art cards, and 2 exclusive enamel pins. The Dragon Ball Super set has all sorts of special features. It's looking like there's, different interviews, coffee break. Yeah, lots of interviews, lots of catching up on the series. So all sorts of fun digital stuff included. Same with Dragon Ball Z, interviews with cast and crew, look back at the Hummer tour with Sonny Strait, trivia, card game, all sorts of fun stuff. We have the Samurai Champloo box set release, which also includes 6 art cards. And we have Psycho Pass Providence dropping. So November 5th is both Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super complete series, as well as One Piece Film Red, Planets the complete series, and Psycho Pass seasons 1, 2, and the limited edition and normal edition of Providence, and Samurai Champloo the complete series. So all of that on November 5th. November 12th, Afro Samurai, Space Dandy, and The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent Season 2. And then November 26th is the Attack on Titan release. So that is so much physical media. And you guys, that is also coming up on gifting season, because as you'll notice, those are all November release dates. So if you have a Giftmas coming up and you think that someone would appreciate getting something like that for whatever Giftmas you celebrate, whether it's a birthday that's next month or whether it is a December holiday of sorts, there are many. Definitely keep an eye out for those releases. Pre-order if you can. And of course, that's at the Crunchyroll shop. And if the Giftmas, birthday, etc. in question is before the releases drop, print out a picture, put it in a card, and tell them the gift is on the way once it actually releases to the public. But yeah, Crunchyroll doing us a solid. That is so much anime physical releases. Holy cow.
I was looking over at the live chat. I like this. Gigadare goes, Attack on Titan, the end. We promise this time.
Right? It's like saving a draft of something and it's final, no really, actually final version 2, final. Yeah, it's that. It's been that.
And then John Knight says, can you believe it's been 10 years since Attack on Titan English dub aired on Toonami? Wow.
Dang.
Woo!
Dang.
All right.
Dang.
Ooh, well, we got another piece of news here. There we go. I was like, wait, we had some more.
Yeah.
So there is the newest preview for the highly anticipated series, Dan Da Dan, which is just a fun name to say.
It is.
I was like, what? So there is a new song, the opening theme. So while teasing the anime's opening theme, Otonoke, sung by Japanese hip-hop duo Creepy Nuts, through the...
Just such a great name.
So also announced the Japanese rock group Zutomayo song Taidada will be Dan Dan's ending theme. And they have put out those accounts already, or put out those videos so you can check a preview. And
And you can tell a lot about an anime from what
Yes.
they choose to include in the opening and ending themes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always very interesting.
We'll put a link for that one on our Twitter, and I was looking at the other account for you to follow. Yes, you can check out Anime Dan EN, so English, on X over on Twitter to see those opening and closing themes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that'll
check
be a
those out.
fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I love how occasionally we get group names that are just so off the wall, creepy
Yes.
nuts. And I mean,
Yeah.
from
Like,
my days of watching the OG Full Metal Alchemist, Porno Graffiti, it is so hard to be like, oh yes, this is a song I really enjoy. Oh, who's the band? Well,
yeah.
about that.
Yep.
And then, yeah, keeping with the Full Metal Alchemist openings, L'Arc-en-Ciel, which just, we pull from French this time. I love it. I love band names. They're so fun. They're just so much fun.
And I think that wraps us up for news, which
Yeah.
I'm going to say, speaking of cool music, Go Go Loser Ranger
Yes.
Damn has some amazing, I still love the opening and closing for this show.
Oh, the opening and ending for this are bangers, and I will be very sad in season 2 when we have different pieces. Like, I'm sure they will be every bit as excellent, but I will also miss these. I say, like, I haven't thrown them on my various Spotify playlists. Like, mine now.
So now we are at the finale for now. The cliffhanger, I mean, not that, you know, that's unexpected or anything like that. Like, what a cliffhanger anime, but it was still a
what's a twist?
There's a visual for like a second, and what was that? And then you're like, okay, but we did get some really good stuff. But it is a damn. When are we getting season 2?
Right? Again, very much one of those, I really like when animators have time to do things like sleep and eat and have work-life balance and be healthy. I like that. So as much as I'm over here going, season 2, season 2, season 2, I can also be like, in due time. Or probably a couple years.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, we did get confirmed there is another one, right? Right. I was like, we talked about this. Yes. So at least we know it's coming. So
yeah, we got confirmation that even at the end of this, they were returning in season 2. Like there was an end card.
Yes. So that is good to know, because there are those times too where you sit there going, will there be more? You know, are they going to make it?
Yeah. It's just like, is this where it ends, or is there? And I mean, I interviewed Zeno Robinson at Anime Expo, and we talked a little bit about this, and he said he's been reading the manga and that it really goes nuts. And I'm like, more than this? How?
Interesting. So, which you can check that out on our Anime Expo or is that on the?
It's on the other one.
So we did a collaboration with Comics Beat, so you can go check them out for some of our Anime Expo interviews, which are ours are here, and then go check out Comics Beat for watching those. But it's us doing it, so
yeah, it's still us. It's still us. Same bat time, different bat channel. You know.
Yes. What did you think of the ending of this season?
Man, there gets to be a point where whenever Dee pulls the mask off in front of someone, you sit here and you really have to weigh, like, how is this going to shake out? And there gets to be a point where if it is a story where a very large secret has to be kept for most, if not all of the runtime, if someone learns a secret, then either they are going to become an ally or they are going to be removed from the narrative very quickly, or we are just completely changing the direction of the story that we're telling. So Dee pulling the mask off in front of Blue Keeper and going, it's you and me. It's like, well, Dee's the protagonist and Blue Keeper's not about to become an ally. So like, so walking into this, there's a bit where you kind of know, like, this poor guy is doomed, because there's no way that we're losing that whole subterfuge, working your way up the ranks, etc. aspect of things this early on in the story. I'm gonna miss him. I really do like the delinquent with a heart of gold type. And he
Yes.
really was doing the I have lost so much to the monsters. I am never going to do that again and going, sorry, buddy.
Well, you know what though? To D's credit, I like that he was disappointed of how that fight was cut short.
Mhm.
He's like, but no, ah, like it really felt like a an actual battle of honor in terms of I want to actually fight you. I want to actually do this. Do we think D would have had a chance? So
Like,
it's like,
he's very God bless D, he can be dumb as a sack of hammers in terms of
yeah,
intelligence, but he's very clever. He's very
yes,
good at playing the hand he's been dealt. He's
yes,
not always super great at the subterfuge part of things, which is again why
yep,
Suzukiri clocks him just immediately.
mm-hmm,
But he's very good at playing the hand he's dealt. He's very good at working with what he has.
mm-hmm,
And you can see that coming out in the fights where once he sees what his opponent is capable of, he is capable of working around it in turn.
yes,
So, do I think he had a chance against Blue Keeper? Eh, I would say significantly lower than even odds. We're
yeah.
not at like 2% chance, but I wouldn't put him above 20.
Yeah, I don't think it's a absolutely not, but it's a
Not
maybe,
likely.
yeah,
You are going to have to work to pull that off, sir.
yeah,
And he did not appreciate the assist.
no. I don't like the other assists that happen though of let me eat the monster head. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so next time we see
sure.
XX, is she just going to be like another Peltrola? Is he going to take
Yeah.
over her? Like, how does this work actually?
Mhm. It's
And
a good question.
yeah, I have no idea. But I
It's
do
weird.
really love the juxtaposition of D. This whole story is him going, I'm going to do my own thing. I am sick and tired of the role I've been given. I am
Mhm.
going to do what I want. And this first season is him realizing, no, I'm fighting for myself. I'm not on the boss monster's side. I'm not on the Dragon Keeper's side. I'm on my side. I'm a party
Mhm.
unto myself. I do what I want. I make my own path. And contrasting that with XX, who went back to the boss monster who was so eager to sacrifice her because this is
Mhm.
the only life I know how to lead. She's the
Mhm.
one calling him a coward in the flashback, and
Mhm.
yet he's the one who's brave enough to step out of the mold that they were made in and go, "Huh, none of that. That's all
Yeah.
bullshit."
I did like that flashback. That was really cool to
Yeah.
see. And even just their coming into being of what is, imagine
Yeah.
if you woke up fully functioning adult brain of like, what is going on? And being like, no, I refuse to participate in this stupid system here. Yep.
Yeah, just immediately all of the fighters being made with zero identity, zero clue, and being told, "Hey, you fight for us now." Like, I guess. But just that continual, not even who am I, but what am I?
Yep.
It was where am I? Who are you? And what am I? That was
I
going on.
also, I
And
also
they
like
were
just,
only around
oh,
for a year
yes.
before all the boss monsters died.
Yeah. That's not very long at all.
Nope.
And overall, it was very refreshing to have a show where somebody went against that norm because when you're watching anything, it's when everybody goes along. It's like really nobody went. I don't know if I jive with this. So it was nice to have a show that where that's the whole point is where this guy is like, no, I'm not. I'm not participating in this. I'm not going to blindly follow along. And maybe some of the other ones questioned it a little bit too, but they don't know anything and they don't want to bother to try. So they're like, okay, whatever.
I mean, the ones that really went, we're not doing this, are the ones that went down to the surface initially. And
Yeah.
he was the one in the middle going, yeah, like, I don't, like,
He
this is
recognized right away.
bullshit. Like, this is what we're being roped into right now. Yeah, this is bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like throwing my life away for the boss monsters either. I don't think they're worth it.
Mm-hmm.
A year was not long enough to instill loyalty. But that bit of questioning of, is is that guy not regenerating? He can't have died just from that when, like, being bisected was like, "Yeah, no big deal, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh, no, it's a big deal now."
Yep.
I would also like to reiterate that all of the divine artifacts are really fleshy looking. Now that
We
we got
talked
another
about
look at yeah. Now that we get
the
another look
Blue
at Reds
Ranger.
again, They
And Blue Ranger talking about it, that it's a god.
Yeah. It's like that it controls the dragon
Mhm.
god, and it, especially in the dub, they really hammered this home. It's
Mm.
like, I really do think, having watched the sub through first initially and then rewatching the dub for the coverage schedule,
Mhm.
I think the dub and the localization, it's entirely possible that this is just because this is also because this is my second time seeing the episode, but I think the dub and the localization do a really, really good job of hammering home the plot points, of really emphasizing, like, hey, here's this thing. It'll be on the quiz. Remember it later. Like, there are some things where first time I watched the episode, like, there's some blink and you miss it or some single scene stuff that I didn't take in. And
Mm.
yeah, that's just
Mm.
first watch versus second watch. But there's some stuff where I watched it sub and I'm like, okay. And I watched the dub and they reworded it in such a way where I went,
Oh,
oh.
interesting.
So again, I
Could
think
you
the
get a
localization and the dub on this was excellent.
do you get a sense of, is God a similar to how that creature calls itself God? That doesn't necessarily mean it's a never dying force or something. Like it could just be a super powered something. Okay.
Yeah, that is what I'm getting from this, especially paired with that realization we had last episode where we had the split second of the dragon and the um priestesses,
Yes.
and that bit of, oh, there was a survivor. We've
Mhm.
had this little bitty dragon mascot where they've spoken a couple times, but we have no idea what they
Mhm.
are or what their deal is. And
Yeah.
usually, when there's a mascot in the show, you don't spend that long not knowing what they are or what their deal is,
Mm.
even if the what I am and what my deal is presented is a lie. Looking at you, entire Madoka canon, looking at you. But like this dragon is this little purple dragon is almost a non-entity,
Mm.
which is really, really weird
It is.
because it seems like it's there for a reason. It's on the umbrella in the ending. Like, we didn't forget that it exists,
Mhm.
but it hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yep.
And I'm here we pinboard piecing together the theory that maybe it is the diminished version of the dragon. Again, going back to the idea that whatever this dragon was, it was dismantled to make
Yes.
these weapons, and that's why they all look fleshy. And
Yes.
that the little mascot dude is what's left.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's my take. That's my thoughts. Who knows? I definitely do not know enough about it to have any clue how close that is.
And just in case some manga's ahead of all this, no spoilers, please.
Yeah, no,
Um,
we're only
enjoy
theorizing about the anime.
our crazy, wild themes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, so that's
Mm.
I still think that there's obviously more beneath the surface than we've seen. And I think in terms of that, the last like 5 minutes of this episode were really intriguing.
Yeah.
Just the world knows that there's a boss monster out there because Blue Keeper is dead and his divine artifact is gone.
Mhm.
Suzukiri picked it up, but we have that other Red Ranger going, yeah, Lord Peltrola has it. It's like he got the
Mhm.
item. Now's the perfect time to strike before he also got punched to death. I'm sensing a theme. Uh, I'm sensing a theme, and it is disturbing. This is my dude's preferred way to murder someone is just to beat the hell out of them with his bare hands. Like,
I was
what does that say about you, buddy? What does that say about you? And
I was
also our
Mhm.
ascended third rank Red Ranger
Yes.
talking to Suzukiri about, where did you get this? Like, you're the traitor. Where did you get this? And her going, too late for you to give it back. You became an accomplice when you accepted that. And
Mhm.
just, it's another look at him and going, he's going to put his goals over everything else. He knows who the traitor is. He could sound the alarm. But the fact that having a piece of the divine artifact is going to help him move up the ranks, he's going to put that above everything else. And we see that happen. And
Mhm.
she probably knew that that was going to be the case, knows enough about that guy to be like, about Tokito, to be like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, you're going to do that. She does a lot of Dance puppets dance.
And really good at observing people and predicting what they're going to do, and generally
Oh, yeah.
seems to be pretty spot on.
Oh, yeah. And again, if she is a surviving maiden of whatever that massacre was,
Mm-hmm.
and if she is working with Peltrola, like, again, we've peeled back the
Right?
first layer of this onion. Just the
Yep.
first one.
What was the other thing on it?
I really did love
Yeah.
Blue's dying words just being about justice and about how someone who's half good can't defeat evil. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
buddy, I think you're better than a lot of people here. Don't know enough about green and yellow to say, but you're definitely a better person than red.
That's a cool translation for English because I'm trying to remember exactly what they said in the dub, but the dub was something to the extent of he tried but he still wasn't able to like conquer evil, something kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Well, and just from the way he talks about himself and from the way we see things, like he was definitely cornered into this role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if he
You know
ever
what? I
felt
actually,
worthy of it as a person.
yeah, I actually first thought Red had killed him.
I mean, would we be
Like I
surprised?
momentarily went,
No.
why would he do that? Why did Red? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's not even him.
Oh,
But
it's
you
like,
know what?
no, it's
We're
a
not-
surviving little bird head. Okay.
Yep. So, shit. I like that our team of other Rangers possibly really knows what D is ish. They did seem to start putting pieces together, but they don't seem like, oh no, we can never talk to him again. 'Cause
They're
that's always
still
a
calling
weird question.
him Sakurama.
So they
So-
don't know like what's going on, but they do know something's weird. Which
Yeah.
I'm glad they're all talking because that's the thing too. Is when it's different characters that go, I know a thing, but we're not going to talk to each other about. Oh no, we have. Okay, good. And then they
Well-
actually teamwork killed a big boss. So
And the other thing is, Ranmaru knows that he's a fighter, and Ranmaru's not dead. We
mhm,
come back around to when someone learns the secret, they're either going to be on board or they're going to be removed from the board. And we
mhm.
thought removed was the case with Ranmaru, but it sounds like Peltrola went, oh, clean up the mess and left. And XX went, okay, and brought him to get medical help and then took his place because
Mhm.
who else could have done it?
That's a good point.
So again, she's interesting. This is the only life I know how to live. I'm like, I think you're self-defeating here a little.
A
I
little
think you're
bit.
capable of more than you know.
Mhm.
Anyway, hell of a
Thoughts?
season finale.
Yes, but any thoughts on who that face is?
Which face? Remind
The
me.
one that's like weird, like there's stuff on it with a hood.
Oh, that's Sakurama.
Oh, okay. I was like, why
Yeah.
is his skin weird?
I have no idea.
Okay, there we go. I'm like, wait,
There's-
what happened to his face then?
Who knows? I mean,
I was thinking it's a brand new character, but that makes way more sense that it's him.
the
but,
eyes
like-
are still him and the hair is still him. It's just the
yeah. Okay.
I'm wondering if it wasn't a result of wearing like D's mask on his face. Of
Maybe.
having the monster on his face for however
Mm.
long, or something just happened
Something else
while
happened
he was
while-
out there in the
Yep.
woods.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he's alive, good, excellent, wonderful. Also, dude, are you okay?
Yes, he
you kinda
definitely.
got
There's a
some
tone change.
Deadpool, Freddy Krueger, you got a
Mhm.
look going on here, and I'm a
Yeah.
little worried about you.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that is the real Sakurama out there in the world
Yes.
somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, because I had this like, who's that? But that makes way more sense. And that's why it's good when you talk about shows with your friends because you're like, wait,
Yeah.
what? What did you see? Huh? But yeah, there's something that's happened to him because that tonal change with how he looks. Because he used to be a bit more like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy and bubbly, and now he's a bit more like, fuck everything.
I think he got a very harsh reality check in terms of surviving alone in the woods with a grievous
Yeah.
injury. And then, like, to be fair, he'd already had some pretty ugly reality checks
Oh, yeah.
to begin with. Like, my dude's life has not been easy.
No.
But I think this may also have been this is how people live when there's no Blue Ranger there on the site to take care of them. This is what happens to people who fall between the cracks. This is where that's just kind of what I'm getting from he seems to be living in like he's obviously not living in downtown Tokyo. Don't know where they are. Cutting off my own hand was
not cool. For real.
Yeah. Like I think the idealism has had another run-in with reality, and I don't know how much of it has survived. And it's also entirely possible that the way this was framed was just for drama. And then it'll still be same old him next season. I have no idea. I doubt that'll be the case.
Yes. All right. Well, definitely a good ending for where it is. A very entertaining show. And now it's like, all right, season 2, we're waiting for you. Yes.
I'm still wondering how Red seemingly still has superpowers despite not having the divine artifact and therefore not being able to henshin.
Yes, that is very
Literally anyone else would be a better leader than that guy. Literally anyone else.
Yes.
Literally anyone else.
Yeah.
Man, could put D in charge of the Dragon Keepers and you'd have a better output.
Right? Even though he is not always the brightest, but still.
No, but man.
Yes. Not murder on the brain first.
It's hard to say his heart is in the right place when it's like, yes, he wants to do world domination, but we saw his little concussion fantasy and it was just, everyone loves me and I'm treating my friends to an awesome meal. Like, that was the fantasy. Like,
yeah.
All right, buddy.
Pretty mundane of not awful or anything.
Like,
yes.
Like, you're not harmless, but you're cute. You don't really, we have two people who didn't have a grasp on the reality of the situation from either side making a deal to switch places. It's the world's worst parent trap. It's
like, this is a cinnamon roll, but will kill you.
Yeah, right. Looks like a cinnamon roll will kill you.
Yes. All right. Well, let us know your thoughts on Go-Go Loser Ranger in this first season. Leave comments below. And again, no spoilers, please.
Yes.
And we eagerly await the next season. So now we'll get into other stuff you should check out.
I think this is when we do a little segment on our event this weekend.
Yes, I think so too, because that is I didn't watch that much because I was getting ready for the thing.
So this past weekend in Los Angeles was the Labyrinth Masquerade. And for those who are not familiar, yes, it started off based on the David Bowie Henson Studios film from the 80s. If you've seen that, you remember that masquerade sequence in the middle. It started off based on that, and now 26 years later, because it's been going on for 26 years, it has its own story elements, its own characters, its own everything. It is a 500 volunteer event. Everyone who works this event is volunteering their time and their talents and their energy and their skills. And it is from the costumers, the makeup artists, the people who set up the event, the people who work it, the performers, just everyone. We are all volunteers. And we pull off a massive masquerade ball. So it was your first time attending. It was my 5th time working.
I was just going to ask you, how many times have you been to it? So have you always worked it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have never been as an attendee. I was recruited to the Wizards Guild D&D Live in 2019. I went as a birthday thing for myself, and the head wizard was running dice games there. And I spent so much time in that area. I was teaching the people in line to play the dice games because it's like, I'm here, I'm an extrovert, whatever, let's go. And at the end of the event, he pulled me aside and went, have you ever been to Labyrinth? I'm bringing these games to Labyrinth this year. I want you on my team. So I was recruited directly. I've never gone to Labyrinth as an attendee, and I have zero regrets. It is very, very fun to put on a performance, run the dice games for people, see people have such a good time. Because there's dancing, there's stage performances, there's fortune telling, there's learning ballroom dancing, should you care to learn. there's the pizza dragon outside, which is always very fun. It is a pizza oven in the shape of a big old dragon. There is just so much. And this was your first time attending.
Yes.
So what are your takeaways?
Yes. I went with a group. There was 5 of us, and only one had ever gone, and they had gone years ago. So nobody had gone. So the only one wasn't recently, and then the rest of us were all brand new. I definitely enjoy being able to go both nights because, yeah, there is a lot to do, and it zips by really fast.
Oh, yeah.
So you're kind of like, wait, it's already the end of the night, and staying at the Biltmore was perfect because I'm like, no, I could not. There too many things with our group of last minute costume issues, adjustments, and all the like. So being able to, this is not sponsored, by the way, not sponsored by Biltmore, and not by Labyrinth. Personal experiences, candid. But it was so nice to be right there because we could go up to our room, or when we're done, when we're done, we could just walk downstairs, which is what I thought of ahead of time of like, I want to be able to just walk out of my room and be right there. I don't want to have to get in a car, especially different costumes. I don't want to have to get in a car. Hoop skirts and other like crazy elaborate things that some people have. I would hate to be like, let me squeeze into a car.
Let me just get into the lift and make sure the door doesn't close on anything important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was something that was really great. It was so cool seeing everybody's different costumes. It is this wonderful experience of like complimenting everybody, and it is, genuine too. It's not anybody. It's weird. Like you're just all admiring each other in such a really beautiful way of like, oh my gosh, I love your costume. And people will say it too. They don't like, of course people are like, woo, but then people would come up to you and say that. And so it's so nice of like you receiving that and you giving compliments because you're like, oh my gosh, your makeup looks great. Your jewelry, whatever. And you're just like, that looks awesome. And on your way, I did participate in the trinket exchanging, which was fun too. That's a thing that like you just bring little knickknacks and things and you can trade them with people. The Goblin Market had that, so that was fun to just to be able to participate. It is, for anybody who's never gone, I'd say it a really simplified version. It's Ren Fair inside and like elevated in the sense of it is a fancy masquerade ball, but adjacent to it, like that Venn diagram is pretty much a circle.
Oh yeah, there are quite a few of the
Ren Fair folk
performers and whatnot are also Rennies. Like
so
that, yeah, it's not not everyone who works at Labyrinth works at Ren Fair, but there's quite a few who overlap because it's very similar. It's people who are very much into it, very much into performing, like being in character. Like it's a really good time.
But it's similar in that sense of an immersive experience. Though this was kind of nice of it's inside, so you don't have to deal with the elements as much, though the first day was a bit stuffy, but that's the venue's fault.
It can get hot in there, especially in some of the bigger ballrooms at some of the more, like for the Dragon Dance. Crystal Ballroom can get very hot because everyone wants to do the Dragon Dance because it's always very, very fun. And for those going, what the heck is the Dragon Dance? We have a dragon. Her name is Sparkles. She was made by the Henson Company for us. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sparkles is an original.
Nice.
And she comes out on stage for a set of songs, and we all dance together. Like the Dragon Dance is very, very fun.
Nice. I feel it's also an environment where you could meet new people and hang out with new people, or you can go with your friends. And it's just a really... like it is something if you're into those kind of things, I would recommend checking it out. And already some of our group was like, okay, so for next year, it's one of those, we had an excellent time, but what do we do to make it better?
So I was going to ask if you would come back. But hearing that you guys are already planning for next year, it's like, yes.
Well, it's like most experiences, which my advice to anybody is enjoy the thing, have a good time. And it's okay to have all right, what worked, what didn't work, and how do we make it better? Like just planning out your meals accordingly, water, footwear where you're not hurting yourself, having your costume done in advance. And of course, other things can happen for sure. But it is okay, let's strategically plan. But yeah, I think we all had a great time, and it would be something I would. It's interesting because for me, it falls around my birthday, or though the dates have changed a little bit over the years.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's always Friday, Saturday in mid-August.
yeah, so that's why I hadn't often gone before because I'm like, ooh, but that was really great to do it for my birthday this year. And when we do our things at the end, go to my Instagram because I got pictures of really cool clothes of what I wore and what my group wore. So it's like, yes, yeah, I like dressing up too, and I love doing hair and makeup and everything. So it just felt really fun to do that and see all your friends, and you're just like, oh, you look amazing, you look amazing. And then it was fun. I'm glad we got to play. Oops, I'm like trying to point the wrong way. Play at your table and play the dice game, and that was a nice way to just sit down for a minute too and participate in easy come and go activity. Really enjoyed the quests. That was kind of fun to have
From the post office.
Yeah. So if anybody's like the what, so they have like a post office. I'll explain for the person who's like, I don't know what this is, but they have like a post office, and you're given a quest to participate and go. It's like a scavenger hunt. Go find the thing, go do the thing, and when you turn them in, you get little pins to collect. And that felt nice to heavy activity, which of course you could just sit and vibe and everything, which is great too.
Yeah.
But we had a bit more like, let's do a thing. And so we really like doing that.
Yeah, and that's also part of why we have the dice games is there's a lot going on, and you could just spend the whole night dancing and watching shows and be fine. You could spend the whole night in the Goblin Cabaret. That stage is amazing, and the Goblins put on an unbelievable show. They are very funny, very talented people. But if you want more active things to do, then there's always the quests in the post office. Or if you want to be like, okay, we've seen a lot of costumes, we've done a lot of dancing, we want to sit down and do something. The Wizards Guild has dice games. There is the bar outside if you want to sit outside. There
nice.
is
They have some
always
outside area like that too.
Oh yeah. Like there's always something to do. There's always something to see. If you're done with the room you're in, go to the room next door and it'll be just as magical. The I have to look up the name now. I want to get this right. There is a bird sanctuary and education place that has been coming the past couple years.
That was
Falcon's Court.
That was a cool room, and you could walk by and see all the birds, or you could pay to get photos with them. So that was cool.
Yes,
and
they had.
Is it a donation to the foundation?
Yes. It is a set donation to the foundation because
which is cool.
They rescue birds that can generally birds of prey that can no longer live in the wild.
Yeah.
And then a lot of those donations pay for them to be able to go to schools and do educational programs for the students.
That's cool.
So, yeah, and then you get a really cool picture in your costume with like an owl or a falcon or something. I have some on my Instagram from last year. I got pictures with an owl named Freya. And I got pictures with Freya again this year. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that again. And my instinct when holding an owl is to treat them like a cat, which is not great because I like to pet cats, but it is still just like, hey, sweetie, and see if they'll like turn around and look at you.
They're just like,
oh, at one point while I was holding Freya, I laughed and she did the full 180-degree turn of the head to look at me like, the hell was that? So can't wait for those pictures to arrive in my inbox. I'm very excited. And, it supports a charitable cause. It supports this foundation. And they had a barn owl. If you wanted like the labyrinth owl, they did.
That was very pretty.
Beautiful.
I saw that one. Actually, the weird one I was excited about too was they had a burrowing owl, and I just think they're very funny and cute.
They're so tiny. They're little guys.
And they got little legs.
Yes.
I mean, of course they all have legs, but burrowing owls run and they live underground, and it's just kind of counter to what you think of when you think of an owl. So they're cute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they had little guys, and they had they
had big ones. Yes.
Beautiful. So yeah, there is something for pretty much everyone at Labyrinth. And for those going, but I'm not really a costumer, I can't really do a costume. You could also just wear nice formal wear and a masquerade mask. That will also get you in.
Yeah, there was definitely an interesting mix of super elaborate costumes to just like nice formal evening wear and wear a mask. Or do makeup as a mask, which is the route I went, and I like that better for myself because like having something besides glasses on my face, is like, I don't like it.
And that's generally the route that I tell first timers to do is just go
Yeah.
with like, unless you already have a really fancy costume in the bag, go with the formal wear and the mask. Your first time, just see what's up, have a good time, and
Yep.
then make your plans for next year.
That's what my friends did, and that worked out really well for them is they had a mask and it was easy
Good.
peasy of like mask, nice outfit, and they were good to go. So yeah.
Good.
Overall, really great time. It was really fun. I'm exhausted now of like, yes,
Right?
we were up till at least 3 on the first night and 3:30 the second night, and drove back. And so it's like, yeah, and having to talk loudly at people in loud spaces. I'm like, yeah.
Throat
But overall,
lozenges.
feel great.
I have
Yes.
been just, this is how you
Yep.
live. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it is a very good time.
Yes.
And that is something that I think you should all check out. And it's I
Yep.
know that not everyone's in LA, but man, it is well worth coming out for Labyrinth.
Yeah.
It's such a good time.
And if you're somewhere else, check to see if there are plenty of other
Yeah.
local kind of productions that do adjacently similar kind of events. So yeah, check those out. Or if you've never come to LA, maybe it's a good excuse to make that and tie that into your visit. I would say my only other than quick recommendation, because I'm like didn't really watch much, but fun book series, Guardians of Ga'Hoole, is essentially
More
really
owls.
is owls. It's like Harry Potter, but owls, kind of. It's like they go to school, kind of. I don't know. It was fun. It's a really cute series of like young adult, easy read, and just really entertaining. The movie is, but the book series is one of those like I
movie
watched it,
occurs.
but I'm like, yeah. There's just
The
so much
movie
more in the
is
book.
different.
Yeah, they changed so much that you're like, not necessarily better. But anyways, that'd be my other recommendation. But yes, Warrior Owls. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
fun.
much,
It's very
yeah.
entertaining. I did want to pull up this one because this was cute earlier when it's hot in there because it's hot because dragon. Yes.
Yeah, no, if you look up the LOJ Masquerade hashtag, you will see so much
It's
of
really
Sparkles in action. It's very fun. But
Um,
yeah, I did not consume anything new because what consumed me was Labyrinth prep, as one does. As
and
one does.
and throwback to last week, Derek points out, yep, speaking of books,
Matupo is out.
Matupo
Yeah,
is out now, so you should
nice.
check that out. And if you
Pick
are
up your physical copies from Tokyo Pop.
and if you're new here, we did a longer review on our previous episode, so you can check that out.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yay! Go also check us out on NTAT and B here on the Fanversation channel. Make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell, and in the description there is a link to our Comic-Con playlist in case you have missed that. And Katie, where can people find you online?
I was gonna say keep an eye out on that Twitter actually, because that's where we will be talking about what we'll be covering next.
Yes.
In preparation
So
for
stay
next
tuned.
week. So keep an eye out. Yeah, you can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Silver Screams, which is a horror channel that my roommate and I do on YouTube. We have fun.
Yes. And I was kind of showing it here. So I got my Doctor Who shirt, but you can't tell, but my earrings are 2 little hearts. Aww. If you know, you know. I was like, I know, I think it's cute. So yes, check out that Comic-Con playlist in the description down below for some really fun interviews from Comic-Con, and some of it has voice actors. So if you're interested in voice actors, we also have a playlist here on the Fanversation channel with all kinds of voice actors. You can follow me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. Yes, go check out Instagram. You get to see that very pretty dress that I got to borrow from a designer, and yeah, just there'll be more pictures, a lot more pictures and video. Took so many, which is good, as one does when they're dressed up fancy.
As one does.
Yes, as one should. Take pictures. Yeah. Do the thing. It's okay. They're digital. Have lots. Thank you so much for tuning in, joining us at nighttime at the Nerd Bar. And if you're watching later, awesome. Comment down below on the different stuff we covered, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.